How's it going? May 6th, CNN 10. I think it's a good one. Hopefully, you will feel the same. The first country we're going to talk about today, Afghanistan. If you remember from last week, CNN 10 brought us Afghanistan once before, and it was President Biden saying he wants to get troops out of Afghanistan by this September 11th, 2021. It'll be 20 years since September 11th, 2001. Kind of symbolic, get the troops out. But there are a lot of people concerned, myself included, about the women and girls in Afghanistan, because the Taliban, maybe you've heard of them, Taliban, they were in power before the U.S. invaded in 2001, 2002, when the U.S. sent troops, and then they've been kind of removed, and there is a government there, but the Taliban still very powerful, still very popular. And many believe, and history would probably tell us that this is going to happen, once the Americans pull out, there'll be a struggle for power, and it could result in a civil war. If the Taliban gets back in control, history has shown, this is why we study history has shown that women and girls do not have, any rights, really, that I can see. Certainly not the right to be educated, oftentimes not the right to even be seen in public. So very restrictive society that if the Taliban gets back into control, it's something that we might see happen in the future. It's, using history to predict the future. A lot of times when a big, powerful army, let's say, is in a country, they keep the peace, but when that power leaves, there's a scramble, and civil war will often result. So I think tomorrow we'll watch, there's a YouTuber, his name is Josh Cahill. I love watching him. He does all of these reviews of flights, and he made like a mini movie on, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but it involves Afghanistan and it involves women, and it's a really cool story. The next thing is China. They're back in the news. Wait, we didn't even look at a map of Afghanistan. Hang on. Afghanistan. Let me just make it big. And you can see Afghanistan is right there in the middle, not far from the other two countries we've been talking about. So India, Pakistan, which we're going to talk about again today, and then Afghanistan. And China, not too far away either. Kind of all in the same part of the world. It's a massive part of the world, but kind of in the same part of the world. China. We talked about this last week too. They are trying to build another international space station. The U.S. has one, but, the U.S. has it, but there have been cosmonauts, Russian astronauts there, a French astronaut. So it's definitely international. Like many nations are there. But China's trying to build their own, updated, all that stuff. It'll be a little newer. Running into some problems, though. They launched a rocket last week, parts of the International Space Station to be built. Obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but you can't build the International Space Station on Earth and then launch it up. You have to, just like the original International Space, it goes up in pieces, and then there are spacewalks, and then they're attached. Well, this rocket, it didn't work out. And so this weekend, it will be hurtling back to Earth, and nobody knows where it's going to land. CNN 10 will tell us, probably not going to hit us. We'll get like an hour or so warning, probably end up in the ocean. But yeah, China messed up. Rocket's coming back. Hopefully it'll fall into the water. I got the question wrong. I'm on a nice streak of getting the question wrong. The next story has to do with the question, so I can talk about it without giving anything away. Broadway. If anybody is into theater, acting, Broadway. New York City. I've been there, I think, twice. Kind of cool if you're into plays and musicals, which I am sometimes. Um, I have people in my family who are very much into that. So, May 19th, Broadway is allowed to open, but there will be some restrictions. So, the story is about how Broadway probably won't be back up and running until the fall. But just another sign that things are returning to normal. So, Broadway's coming back. It won't be until the fall. They could open May 19th, but you'll see the story where it's like just too much preparation. 50K, 50 kilometers. It's longer than a marathon. The new world's record was just set. The women's world record was just set. So there's going to be a story about her. I got tired just watching it. Lots and lots of running, lots of running. So if you're a runner, I know every year there's some people that go out for the track team, and this is like super long distance, 50K, 50K, longer than a marathon. And then the last story, you got to chuckle a little bit. It's fighting fires with goats. So, fighting forest fires with goats. Check it out. You got to see it. And then maybe what's the last video about Pakistan and India? Carl Rock is back. He's going to go in and show how it's another electronics store. It's in another big city in Pakistan. It's in a city called Lahore. And it's actually been burnt down, but they're still working out of there. But you'll see just crazy amounts of electronics that go on. He's going to talk about some PlayStation controllers that are knockoffs or secondhand. Just some crazy stuff that goes on there. And you'll see that there's a big society. I want to try making this. I've looked up the recipe, a big society of like drinking tea. So people, in this case, it's men, will get together and drink tea. So somebody might be doing some work for you. Like he's going to need a Bluetooth speaker, like an earpiece fixed. And so there's work being done, but it's also like, hey, like have some tea with me. In the United States, we might have a culture of where like, hey, let's go out and have a beer or whatever, because that's kind of our culture. You know, people will get together for drinks. But in Pakistan, there is way less drinking of alcohol in Pakistan. So chai, you might hear it, chai or tea. That is like kind of in society there. And you'll see Carl Rock has a chai or two, and it makes me thirsty and I want to try it. Lots of milk, lots of cardamom. I might try it tonight. I don't know. I just need some cardamom pods, which I guess you can buy at Walmart. So I might check it out. I'll let you know how it goes if I do it.